One thing that you need to see is that you need to go to the settings. Please note this down. This web is for exams. So there are three tabs: general, security, and item level feedback. In general tab, there is a time limit section where you have to specify the time limit. We said that the time limit for this is 10 minutes, so you will say 10 here, and so now the student will get 10 minutes to finish his exam whenever he starts his exam. If he starts his exam at 9:55, he has till 5 minutes past 10 to finish his exam. If he starts his exam at 10 a.m., he can finish his exam till 10 minutes past 10. So that is what he can do. Second thing that you need to look at is save as you go. This setting you should typically keep at 5 minutes. So what this means is that you can specify that after every 5 minutes, please save the students' responses. So now what happens is, let us say that student is taking exam from home, and by the electricity went off, so his computer got shut down. When he restarts the exam again, he will not have to start the exam from the start, but from the place where his questions were last saved. So let us say that the electricity went off after 7 minutes of his starting the examination. So the answers that he would have given in the first 5 minutes, they would be saved. So when the electricity comes back and he starts the exam again, he will have to start the exam from, he will not have to do those answers again. The answers that were first 5 minutes. You can give the answers start from the 6th and the 7th minute that are not saved by the system. Now, you may ask a question that, why should I make it 5 minutes? Why should I not make it 1 minute? That every minute the answers are getting saved. So the answer to this is that it is, when the system is saving the answers, there is a lot of traffic that goes on the internet. So if it was saving 1 minute every 1 minute, then a huge amount of traffic from thousands of just sending it to database, bringing it back from the database would be flowing. And sometimes your internet can get clogged, it can get slowed down, sometimes it can crash. So it is a compromise between taking care of your internet and the speed at which the exam is done by the students and the duration after which the questions are saved. So I would recommend that 5 minutes should be an okay duration. So do 5 minutes and say okay. Okay, this is one. The other setting that you need to understand is load templates. There are different templates in question mark that you can use to present your exam, and a lot of different templates can do different kinds of things. But for Qasim University, there are two templates that I'm recommending. Don't choose any template other than this. One is the default template, and the other is a Q/Q exam template. You will find it here, Q/Q exam. There are many custom templates in my system. That's why I'm finding a difficulty. In your system, you'll find it very easily. There are very few templates there. So you can, for now, let me use Q/Q exam. Now, Q/Q exam, I will show you what all can be done in templates, but you should Q/Q, any template that has the word Q/Q in the beginning means that on every page only one question will be presented. And if you use the default template, then all the questions will be presented on the same page. So you can decide which template you want to use. I will choose these two things. Okay, security. You may not be using this security in your current examination, but let me specify the settings here. Require question mark secure. What it means is that when the student launches the examination, everything on his computer will get frozen. He will not be able to access anything. He will be able to access only his exam and nothing else. So this is a desktop browser. This is question mark secure is a secure browser. And those of you who are familiar with the lockdown browser in Blackboard, it is something similar, but which is built into question mark itself. So you can just specify that, required question mark secure, and those browsers are installed on the student desktops by the administrators. So when they run this exam in question mark secure, everything gets frozen. They cannot do alt tab, they cannot do a screen capture, they cannot kind of go to internet, they cannot do any of those things. They can just attempt the assessment. So to do anything else, either they have to submit the assessment or they have to shut the computer and restart. Okay, required monitoring is another feature in question mark, which means that the student can launch examination, but he cannot start the examination. He can log in and he can launch the exam, but he can start the exam only when monitor enters his username and password. Only then the exam will start for the student. Okay, that is another method which is again not applicable for students taking exam from home, and that method is that there is there is an OTP. Like we get OTP when we are accessing our bank accounts. Similarly, there is an OTP that gets generated and which goes to the student, and the student fills in that OTP, and then only he can launch the exam. And once he has filled in that OTP will expire. So as a result, if he shares his credentials with somebody else outside the university and also shares the OTP, that other person cannot use the OTP because the OTP has already expired. Item level feedback, we are not giving item level feedback. If you want to give feedback, you can give after each block or at the end of assessment. And what you can do is you can specify that I want to give feedback for all questions, wrong and unanswered, right and wrong, etc. etc. We'll say that we're not giving feedback here. So what you can do is, we have selected this template, 10 minutes, 5 minutes here. Now, if you have selected the language in the topic, you have to select the language here as well, and it should be same. If it is not the same language between the topic and the assessment, number one, you will not see that topic. Number two, there will be an error get thrown up when you save the assessment, when you try out the assessment. Now, once you have done this, once we have now done it, we have created blocks of questions, and one thing more that we can do is we can specify the grades here. At what percentage will the student pass in this exam? At what percentage will he fail? So you can specify the outcome for him. This is called the outcome. You can have pass fail. You can change this outcome to something else. Let's say grade A, and this one you can call grade B. You can also change this range. So you can say that grade A means that he has scored between 80 and 100, and grade B means that he has scored between 60 and 79%. This is percentage. And you can add one more outcome and say that if the outcome 3 is fail. So if he scores between 0 and 59, he fails. So you can do all of these things here, and you can save. Now, some more things that you can do in question mark assessments are that you can do, number one, you can do feedback. So here, when the student finishes his examination, you can specify whether he will see his score. He can see the topic-wise score. He can see the topic-wise outcomes also, that in which topic he passed, in which topic did he fail, in which topic score how many percentage. And if you want to give him any feedback associated with grade A, let's say excellent or something like that, you can do that here. So you can specify and the student can see his grade. So I will just select this in all three outcomes, the total score. I can do this. Okay. Another thing that you can do in question mark is prerequisites. Prerequisites mean that you have selected questions. So you can specify that the student will pass his exam only when he scores. He will get grade A when he scores in this topic 80%. In this topic 80%, and say add. Topic field is required. You can select the topic field. So in this topic, you can say add. So when he scores 80% in this one, Only then he will get a grade A. Similarly, if questions were taken from multiple topics, you could apply those conditions in multiple topics and say that, okay, in topic 1 he should score 80%, in topic 2 he score 70%. Only then I will give him a grade A. Another thing that you can do in this is branching. So you can link multiple assessments, and it is kind of an adaptive testing. You can say that, once he finishes this exam and he gets grade A, then he can go to another assessment. He can go to another published assessment. You can select the assessment that he can go to this assessment and take. It can be a higher level assessment. What you can also do is, in branching, let's say he fails. You want him to study, to go to a particular website and study. Then on fail, you can specify a URL that he has to go and study there, www. Let's say Microsoft.com. So the system will take him to Microsoft.com. Microsoft.com. If he fails, he will reach there, and in the feedback you can see, you can say, sorry, you have failed. You will be directed to a URL where you will find material that you should study. So you can study. Okay.